Welcome back. Today we're tying flies. We're going to be making the woolly bugger. This is one of my favorite flies. I use it for everything. Trout, bass even, bluegill, a little bit. A smaller version of this. I'm using a size, I think this is a size 10. You can use smaller hooks, you can use bigger hooks, whatever you're wanting. Very, very versatile. You can change the colors up on it. One of my favorite flies to tie, one of my favorite flies to throw. It's a great, great fly. Stay tuned and we'll learn how to tie it. All right, let's get started. So we're starting with a size 8 nymph hook right here. I'm gonna just start by making a one layer all the way down, doesn't have to be perfect, of thread on the shank. This just kind of makes everything sit where it's supposed to. I'm using orange thread so you all can see it a little bit better. Let me know in the comments if that's actually what you think works best for you guys being able to see it. I think black would probably be hard with the shadows and whatnot. So I'm going to measure out my marabou, whatever you call it. I do one length of the shank, maybe a little bit more, and I'm just going to cut it off right there. I have a really big feather here. Usually it's a lot smaller, but it'll do. So I'm going to tie that in to the back. Doesn't really matter exactly where. This is just going to give you some movement in the water when you twitch it, or there's strong current when the water moves it. That's going to give it some movement. It's kind of hard to see there, but we're going to want a piece of our saddle hackle. There's just going to be something on there to give it more texture. So when we're looking at these, all of this fluffage down here is no good to us. All we're going to use is this piece right in here. So I'm going to pinch it there and strip this all the way down. It's going to fluff up like that. And I'll take my scissors and I'll just cut it off right there. So now we're left with what we're going to use. There's a little bit of fluff there, but there's a reason why I left it. We're going to pinch there. Now there's that fluff. We're going to cut down all that fluff. So then we're just left with the stem. And I'm going to go down all the way and come back. That just kind of ties up some of that loose stuff. We'll get that taken care of. It really won't make a difference, but I like being tidy. Our last piece, we're going to take our chenille, take a piece of it, all right, tie that in, and that's going to be our last piece that we tie it back. And I'm going to tie it off back a little bit further than where I had it before to give us a nice clean edge on that back end. And we're going to bring our thread all the way up to the front. We're going to work opposite of how we just put them on. So we're going to take our chenille, just that, and we're going to wrap it tightly around. When we get all the way down to the end, we're going to tie it off. All right, once you get that all the way down to the end, then you're going to take your little piece of extraness, you're going to snip that off. Now, I like to tie a little knot in here. That way, if, let's say my thread breaks or something like that, then it gets secured there and I don't have to start back. It's kind of like a checkpoint. So now we're going to take our hackle. I pinch the top of it here and pull my fingers down so it spikes out like that. And then do the same thing. Twist it. We get up to the top, tie it off. I'm going to make a couple more wraps. I really like using this orange, or you can use red on the top because you can see it right there. It looks like an injured crawdad or something like that going along the bottom. So I'm going to tie it off. You can whip finish it however you want to finish your fly. If you look at it from this angle, the hackle is all over the place. That's going to cause a lot of drag in the water, which sometimes is good, sometimes it's bad. This, with how much I have right now, it's going to be really light and it's not going to do anything. When it hits the water, it's gonna float. So I pinch down from the top down to the bottom, get as much as I can in there. So I missed quite a bit on top, but they'll be okay. Pinch it down, and then I cut from right here where you put the thread in, all the way down to the hook, that angle. So the top's gonna be a little bit longer, which is fine because when it's in the water, that'll move. The bottom will be shorter, which will let it drop down. And then I kind of just trim it up, make it look how I want it to look. This is the fun part about tying flies, is you can do whatever you want to make it yours. And there you go. There's your black woolly bugger with a orange head. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe for weekly fly tying content and much more.